Have you ever wondered if those challenging situations in life are actually helping shape the person you're meant to be? I'm Lohan, and welcome back to Uncover Your Authenticity. My teacher used to say, Spirit doesn't waste a thing. Everything we've learned or gone through in life will be used at some point. It helps define who we are and deepen our inner strength. So today, let's talk about how those tough experiences you might be dreading could actually be the very ones that nourish your inner clarity and power. Let me share a personal story. Back when I was doing massage therapy in San Francisco, I never wanted to advertise because I didn't want to have to deal with any inappropriate expectations that might come with it. My only sources of new clients were personal contacts and client referrals. I wanted to keep my work pure and focused. But as soon as I moved back to Miami and placed an ad in the local periodical, I had to face exactly what I'd been avoiding. From the first response to my ad, I had to learn to set clear boundaries. But as I practiced being clear on what my work was about, I realized a couple of things. The first thing that I realized was that in practicing what I had been avoiding for so long, I became masterful at recognizing, handling, and being graceful in my ability to communicate my boundaries, even in uncomfortable moments. The other thing I realized was that if a client and a therapist are aligned in what they want and what they offer, there's no harm done. They're not doing any harm to anybody. I didn't need to take anything personally or be offended in any way. My only job is to communicate my limits clearly and hold them without judgments. That insight helped me to realize that setting boundaries is about honoring my own integrity while respecting other people's choices. And one more thing I've realized is that we often interpret challenges as stress, and sometimes they are, but not all stress is harmful. Some challenges come into our life to strengthen us, not to overwhelm us. They help us practice skills we're going to need later on: clarity, boundaries, resilience, inner steadiness. And when we see them through that lens, they become a lot less threatening. Now let's talk a little bit about stress and resilience. In our complex world, it's natural to feel stressed. It's also understandable that many of us try to avoid stressful situations, especially in a world that it feels so full of anxiety these days. Sometimes we turn to coping mechanisms or even medications to help manage that stress. And there is absolutely a place for that. But what I want to share is that sometimes when we always avoid those little moments of stress, we miss out on the chance to build that inner strength and resilience. Those little challenges, they're like training wheels for our inner metal, preparing us to handle the bigger ones down the road. By facing them, we become more resilient and more capable of navigating life's complexities. And if we don't practice handling the little stresses, we might find ourselves really overwhelmed when a major stressful situation arrives that's unavoidable. So the next time you're confronted with a minor stressful situation, try meeting it head on. As you practice this, you'll see how much easier it gets along the way. You may even become masterful. And those uncomfortable moments, they won't feel so uncomfortable anymore. Remember, if we see life as a practice, it becomes much easier to stay open to whatever challenges show up. Thanks for taking the time out of your stressful life to share it with me today. If this message resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear it. As always, let's keep uncovering our authenticity one moment at a time. I'll see you next time.